There's a terrific biography of F.M. Alexander that is well worth reading, and there's a terrific blog by an anonymous person on her experience taking Alexander lessons. It's called forwardandup.com. After reading this biography of F.M. Alexander, she writes, "I'm left with the impression of Alexander as someone who's so afraid of attachment, afraid of people stealing his ideas, because without his ideas, who would he be? Afraid of being wrong, afraid of people who had more status or more education than he did, afraid of being caught, afraid that people might find out who he really was and not love him for it. Strikes me as sad that someone who has taught others how to make the most out of life seems to have been in survival mode most of his own time. Hope that others can contradict me, but that doesn't seem to have had man doesn't seem to have many moments of relative happiness or peace. Losing his voice almost seems like the smallest of his problems." So, I mean, F.M. Alexander, quite a character. He was basically involved in a threesome. That's how he met his wife. He moved in with this couple, and the husband was dying, and FM took his wife, and it was not a happy marriage. The ironic thing is that if she'd been more open to the technique, it probably would have saved her life. So this terrific biography of Frederick Matthias Alexander, founder of the Alexander technique, is by Michael Block, and it's a great read. So the Alexander technique is a method of muscular re-education which has become standard training for actors, dancers, and singers. It's practiced for health reasons all over the world. Its founder, F.M. Alexander, born in 1869, died in 1955, was an Australian actor who stumbled upon the technique in the 1890s after studying himself in mirrors to discover why he'd lost his voice. He realized that most people suffered from the same postural defects he had noticed in himself. This explained much of what went wrong with him. So FM, as he was known, came to London in 1904, became enormously successful. During the First World War, he practiced in America with equal success, converting the American philosopher John Dewey to his cause. He wrote 4 books, all still in print, and F.M. Alexander's supporters include Aldous Huxley, George Bernard Shaw, and Stafford Cripps. He was, however, a difficult and argumentative man who made enemies. Towards the end of his life, he embarked on a libel action against the South African government, which accused him of charlatanism. He won. He went on practicing and propagating his technique until his death at age 86. So, F.M. Alexander, raised in Tasmania, Australia, became a reciter in Sydney, and then spent most of his adult life in London. I don't think he ever went back to Australia after moving to England in 1904.